push the Indians, right, out of their own sections of the land, just like they push the so-called Mexicans, or Issacharite brothers, right, so-called Mexicans from the tribe of Issachar out of their own land, California, Texas, right?
I'm not gonna lie, for some reason, I feel like this man really doesn't believe what he's saying. And I believe that's the case because he's probably fed up with saying the same old nonsense on the corner every time when he's speaking to people, whether black, white, purple, brown, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, whatever the situation may be. I believe this man is starting to get fed up with saying the most repetitive thing that has been said for the last, 20, 25 years almost. Guy's been around in the 90s, like, or maybe even more than 25 years, shoot. But it's like the same repetitive stuff has been said over and over without any actual facts, though. It's just, okay, he that leaves in captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Oh, it has to logically correlate to us putting you guys in chains and taking you guys into heaven on ships or UFOs or whatever you want to take it up as, chariots. But that's your interpretation, correct? Well, I want to state that that is not my interpretation of the scripture, because when I'm going to bring you my interpretation, I'm going to bring you biblical evidence through multiple biblical sources, not just one scripture. Then I'm also going to bring you history, and that's going to be historical evidence, plus the biblical evidence to further push my point on why my interpretation is actually the biblical truth and biblical answer to, what the verse that dude is talking about, with the he that lead the captivity shall go into captivity, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, because there's the proper interpretation to what dude is trying to say with that scripture.
So, hey, Mr. Ludo, what goes around comes around. Christ said, those that lead into captivity shall go into captivity. Those that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. And finish it out.
Here's the patience and the faith of the saints.
Here's the patience, and that's the patience and the faith of the saints. That we get to take those that put us into captivity, right, and kill those with the sword that killed us with the sword.
Okay, now before I show you my evidence for why I believe this is the correct interpretation of what Revelation 13:10 is trying to say, I want to state this. I'm going to go into a whole lot, and it's probably going to take more than one video to do this, so I ask that you guys bear with me. Let's get into it, though. And this is Revelation 17, and it says this: And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones, and, can't see that other word, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Like I said, I'm going to show biblical evidence for everything that I say, because I don't want to mislead you guys, unlike what other people are doing to you. Now look here. You got the dictionary of prophetic terms. White linen equals righteousness. You can go to Revelation 19:8. You get the trumpet and wind, that represents war people. You can go to Jeremiah 49:36 to find that out. Then also prostitution equals idolatry. You can go to Leviticus 17:7. You can go to James 4:4. You can go to Isaiah 2:1, Isaiah 51, Jeremiah 3:18, Ezekiel, and then so forth on, people. Then also water and sea represent nations. You can go to Revelation 17:5 to find that out yourself. Like I said, a woman represents a church. A woman represents a church. And then you can go to Ephesians 5:22 through 24, 2 Corinthians 11:2. Then also right here, you got Zion, that equals God's people. You can go to Isaiah, I believe that's 51:54, and verse 16. You got the beast, represents a kingdom. Now, I just want you guys to understand this. Now, a beast is a kingdom, but a horn is a king and a kingdom. It could be both. Right here, you got the rock, and this very plain as day, common sense for a Christian. The rock is Jesus, and it's substantial verses that, clarify that. But like I said, a woman is a church. Now it says he's going to show him the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So that great whore represents a church. Now verse 2 says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Simply meaning, people, that the beast, the whore, is intermingled with the kings of the earth. And it also says, and the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk with the wine of her fornication. Wine represents doctrine, people. And it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And it says in verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones. Let's see who can fit this interpretation of the scripture, people. Plain as day, people. Look at this. And in the verse right up there, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet. Your bishops, purple. Your cardinals, scarlet. And they have been decked with much, much precious gold, stones, pearls, everything. The Pope's seat is made of gold. Come on now, his staff, I believe, is of gold as well. It's so much other stuff. The cathedrals, have you been to a Catholic cathedral before? They're all, in tip-top shape. They not no rust bucket or anything of that sort. We got some more symbolism. Purple and scarlet, people. Another one, people. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, an abomination of the earth. Now let's see who calls themselves the Mother Church. And it says, Dominus Ius. And it says, other churches are no sisters of ours. The Vatican insists. September 5th, 2000, The Independent. So what are they implying by if they're not a sister? They're not a sister, it must be a daughter, right? So they're the mother, correct? Okay then. Now watch this though. It's going to be more plain as day from Cardinal Ratzinger from 9/4/2000. And it says, it must be always clear that the one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Universal Church is not the sister, but the mother of all churches. They call themselves the Mother Church. And what did the scripture just plain as day state? Remember that verse that I showed you? Remember how it said that the whore is going to be intermingled with the kings of the earth? This is Gorbachev. He was around during the Soviet Union time. He was actually a bad guy turned good guy situation, I guess you could state, from like what the public stated and everything of that sort. But yeah, as you can see though, he had high praise for this Pope right here. High praise for this Pope. Then you got another guy right here. He's a high ambassador or president, whatever situation may be. But as you can see though, the electives and everybody of the world, political realm, are always have been meeting with this guy right here. Look at these people. I forgot this is Elizabeth. But also peep this too though. I want you guys to peep the symbolism as well. Black, white. That is the duality. That is the Masonic symbolism. By the way, all Masons. Mason, and a Mason. I don't want nobody coming up on here talking about you can't be Catholic and be Freemason. Yes, you can. You're just going to lie about it. Plain as day. The Bible says thou shalt not lie. You don't think that people weren't lying? But this just simply points out the duality and everything of that sort and the power. You get the Pope meeting with more high electives, people. This is what he does. This is what they all do. Trying to, get that started. Even with the Muslim converts, it ain't different. Ronald Reagan. Look at that. Ain't no different. Ain't no different at all. Bro got a brown suit on, but he got that black tie and black socks on. He made sure he had some black on. Look at this. More electives, people. Jimmy Carter, our old president. Even the Asians, the Japanese, I believe. One of the two.